Well, earlier this week, I got an email from the young Oakbank writer, Christine Steendam, and she wrote, "Hi, Terry. I'm wondering if you'd be interested in taking a walk through the Real Pirates exhibit with me on Wednesday or Thursday this week. I've been wanting to attend for some time now, as it's a bit of research for me, and I thought it might interest you as well." Well, I, too, had been wanting to see the show. Christine, she went shortly after she wrote, and then on Thursday, she met me in the lobby of the Manitoba Museum to give me my tour of the show. So, Christine Steendam, why did you write me this letter?
I've been seeing signs everywhere for the Real Pirates exhibit, and I love pirates. I write about them. I just find them incredibly adventurous and a little bit romantic, and so I just had to come, and I just think that it's a great learning experience for everybody, for one, but it's a great story.
So you're going to be my guide. You've seen the show. I haven't.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can get through that incredible line. This is March break week after all, right?
Yeah, it's very busy. Lots of kids, lots of adults.
So what is it we're going to see in this display?
You're going to see a lot of artifacts. You're going to see a lot of little videos, and you're going to see a story, which is what really struck out to me, is that it's not just an exhibit, it's a story about Bellamy and about the slave ship, the Whydah.
Now, you write about fictional pirates.
Yeah, I do. And so I kind of came here expecting to get the real nitty-gritty side of pirates, which we don't see a lot in fiction. But Bellamy actually is a bit of a romantic.
And who is he? Is he the captain?
Yeah, so he's known as Black Sam Bellamy, and he was the captain of the Whydah.
And the Whydah was what?
The Whydah started out as a slave ship, and Bellamy captured it in its maiden voyage in early 1717, and he had it for 2 months before it sunk.
So did that end his pirate career?
Yes.
Is this based on the real Whydah?
Yeah, there are artifacts actually dug up from the Whydah, and right now, like, this is the bell of the Whydah right here.
So we're standing in front of this bell in a tank that seems to be full of water.
Yeah, it's kept in saline solution, similar to the water it would have been discovered in.
So this was a real pirate ship. This wasn't fictitious Christine Steendam pirate ship.
No, 100% real, yeah.
This is a much bigger show than I had imagined it to be. What else do we see?
You're going to see little bits of lives from the crew, from the slaves, from before it became a pirate ship to after it was a pirate ship. A lot of real artifacts, weapons. You can see rapiers, cutlasses, pistols.
Is there pirate treasure?
Yes, there is treasure, and it is actually the only pirate treasure ever discovered.
Take me to it.
You'll see a lot of the shackles and the branding irons here at the beginning, because this is the start of our story, and the Whydah at the time now is a slave ship. They were basically treated as cattle. They were actually branded like cattle.
How did this display change your impression of pirates and the lives that they lived?
I write fictional pirates, so they're romanticized. So I came in here expecting, like I said, the real pirates, something really nitty-gritty. And I came to see that they're real people just like us. They have romance, they have love, they have adventure, they have sorrow, hurt, and pain, and this really just kind of immersed me in their lives.
What do you learn about why they became pirates?
A lot of them did it because life just wasn't that great at the time. Money wasn't great, jobs weren't great. People who wanted to sail weren't being treated well on merchant ships or sailing ships, so piracy was a place where they could be equal among all men, especially those of minorities.
And the slaves themselves, some of them became pirates, is that right?
That's right, yeah, because it was a chance for them to be free men, and it was a chance for them to be equal among the white men. Pirate ships were actually known to be very democratic, where they had voting systems. Black men and Indians and everyone could be officers, not just sailors.
Did you know that already?
I actually didn't.
You're going to be changing your writing from now on, I expect.
Yeah, I think I'll have a lot more diversity in it.
Where did they find the Whydah?
They found it off the coast of Cape Cod. 1980s, they found it. Almost 300 years after it sunk, it was found.
And this stuff was rescued from the remains of the ship?
Yeah, and they're still digging up stuff from it.
What intrigued you the most about
this display? What did you see where you said, wow?
Just seeing things that I've researched in person is just amazing to me. Like even these cannons, you just don't realize their size and their weight and just the heft until you just see them in person. I mean, like, this cannon weighs over 600 pounds.
These people who were on the Whydah and the captain on the Whydah, were they looting stuff and giving it to a royal somewhere, or were they keeping it for themselves?
They were 100% keeping it for themselves. Captain Bellamy was known as the Robin Hood of the Sea, or the Prince of Pirates, because he was known for being fair and just and forgiving men that maybe didn't have a chance at wealth to now have this great wealthy life.
We're actually on the ship here.
They've done a replica portion of the rear end of the ship, which would take you on the deck, through the cabin, and down through the hull.
So is this Bellamy here?
Yeah, that would be him.
Nice jacket.
Yeah, I quite like it. I think I need one.
What's happening to that guy over there?
So they're showing a little bit of what would be done to pirates who are injured.
But they have a hacksaw.
Yeah, in most cases they didn't have, I mean, this is the 18th century, they didn't have modern medicine, they didn't have antibiotics, they didn't have all these things, so if they were cut or badly injured, they'd often have to amputate to prevent infection, because blades and all that were not the cleanest things ever.
So they're sawing off his leg.
Yeah. You know, peg legs and all that. Typical pirates.
You know, you just never think about how a person gets a peg leg. Well, that kind of pain doesn't turn up in much of the stuff that I knew about pirates.
No, we like to skip over that. So this is your pirate treasure. It was touched by real pirates. It was recovered from a real pirate ship, and it is the only pirate treasure to ever have been recovered.
There's a lot of it. Did you know what those coins are made of?
A lot of those would be silver.
And it says here, each man on board the Whydah was due to receive at least one 50-pound sack of coins. What happened to everyone aboard when the Whydah sank?
Everyone but two died. The two that survived were the carpenter and John Julian, the Mosquito Indian. The carpenter was acquitted of piracy because they said it was proven that he was forced into the piracy, and the Mosquito Indian was sold into slavery. In
what way will your writing be affected by having a much more authentic experience of pirate life?
I think my descriptions will be a lot more real. I mean, now that I've seen cannons and cannonballs and what they have to work with, living quarters, it just brings a realism, a whole new depth to it. But I think that John Bellamy may have to make a little surprise appearance at some point, because I'm liking his story.
Remind us what you called your series.
I call it the Ocean series, and it's made up of Heart Like an Ocean, Betrayed by the Ocean, and I'm working on the third, and the prequel to it all is called Owned by the Ocean.
Christine, it's been great fun. I'm so glad that you called me and urged me to come and see this. This is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it is, and it's only open for a few more weeks, so people should come down because it's just an amazing piece of history.
All righty. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Christine Steendam, my personal tour guide. Christine's from Oak Bank, and she's the author of 2 series of books. Her trilogy of pirate books titled, Owned by the Ocean, Heart Like an Ocean, and Betrayed by the Ocean. Real Pirates, the Untold Story of the Whydah, From Slave Ship to Pirate Ship, is a touring exhibition organized by the National Geographic and by Premier Exhibitions. It's now on at the Manitoba Museum until April the 19th. And the exhibition explores the early 18th century piracy with more than 200 genuine artifacts recovered from the ocean floor from the wreck of the Whydah. Special prices apply for the Real Pirates show. And it was a huge success. When we were there on Thursday, there were so many kids during March break, and they really seemed to really love it. It's a really complex, extensive show, bigger than you might expect.